hello everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in SCP, the Serpent's Plan, Part 3. Today is May 12th, 2022, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards where anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us at patreon.com/indooradventures. But you're probably thinking to yourself, but Indoor, isn't Patreon a place that I have to go to pay for stuff? Wrong, dummy! If you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, it's all being made public. The easiest way that you can gain access to our after show is just by heading over there. But if you want to ask us those questions, join us on our Discord. The link can be found in the Twitch chat to the side or in the video or description of this video down below. But let's say you already support us on Patreon, you already support us on Twitch and YouTube and those other wonderful spaces, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Guess what, buddy? I got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks, and rumbling around my desk, we also have face masks. That's right, we got face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf1201, and currently all the proceeds of our merch is going to help support Doctors Without Borders. So, if you would like to help support a good cause, you can go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Again, that is indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So hey PB, who you playing today?
Hi, I am PB, and today I'm going to be playing Maggie, who is a grease monkey mechanic who uses she/her pronouns.
I am the Indoor Adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be playing as Bucky Howard. We both use he, him pronouns. GB, you are muted.
Take two. Greybeard of Greybeard's Tavern, and tonight I'll be Klifton Kai. He uses he, him, and I use he, him, and that's it for me, GB.
Oh, GB, I just noticed your amulet. That's awesome. Hey, everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. I'm going to be playing as Revna tonight, who is a two-fisted tribe member. She, her for both of us.
And I am Mediaflare, they, them, and I'm going to be playing as the keeper or game master of this universe. And we are going to slide back into the game, do a little recap, and then see how they do on their first day on the job. All right. Log 3 of SCP-6965. It's been roughly 3 days since 6965 1 through 4 have been recovered from SCP-3008. It seems that they've been adjusting well in the facility that they are currently being housed at. After some deliberation in the O5 Council at the request of Site Director Palmer, the anomalies will be assigned a junior research team position in order to observe them in the field, as well as their cooperation and ability to work in parallel with the SCP Foundation. It's also to note that Dr. Palmer was reprimanded by the O5 Council for being a bit too attached to their anomalies. Referring to them by name basis is not permitted while referring to an SCP. It is also to note that per a few incidents that happened over the 3-day stay of the anomalies at the site in question, Task Force Operator Colonel Mathers is reassigned to Site 19. On the third day, the anomalies were given the task to choose one of the safe classified SCPs in the warehouse in order to run a mock investigation and report, as well as a containment recommendation, in order to see the potential of the team and how they handle things under a low-stress environment. So the camera first fades back into view on the inside of Revna's dorm. There are 2 beds in this place. There's a normal bunk-style barracks, like twin bed, and then there also is a makeshift straw and down bed that Dr. Palmer provided originally in the D-class room. At this point, Colonel Mathers is redonning their clothing. They're pulling up their pants and attaching their utility belts again. Well, that was probably as rough as I was expecting. Why the 2 beds, though? I mean, I was a bit busy to ask earlier.
Revna has seated herself in front of the mirror, and she's busy, like, undoing her braids. She'll look at him in the mirror and say, "They offered, and I did not refuse." More braid I'm doing. Also on the vanity next to her is the jar with the hand inside. Just like...
It is late in the evening, so yes, the hand would be active. It seems to be trying constantly to grab at Revna, who's closest to the jar, but it's just constantly like tinking. It's like a spider jumping at the side of a jar over and over again. Why do you keep that thing? Is that some sort of trophy or memento from your time in the fucking mindfuck furniture warehouse?
I suppose you could call it like that, yes.
Did you happen to make a request for keeping it with you? I don't think they're going to let you keep that thing if you leave this site, since that's, 3008 property.
She starts to drag a brush, or I don't think they had brushes. She starts to drag a comb through her hair, and she says, "I did not ask you here for conversation."
That's fair. That's fair. Our job is done here. Well, this is probably going to be the last time I see you anyway, so it was a nice visit.
I would not kick you out of my bed if I were to see you again.
Sorry, if you were or weren't?
Oh, if she were to see him again, she would not kick him out of the bed.
That's fair. I mean, you might as well take, as many ticks off the bucket list as you can before you go. Well, I need to go report since the vans are going to be getting here this morning or tomorrow morning, so I'll leave you to it. I would recommend you do mention something about that hand, or they'll probably just try and scoop that away from you.
Understood.
And as he heads towards the door of your room, he turns over his shoulder, goes, and do me a favor and try and keep some empathy while you work here. It'll fucking suck the shit out of you.
She just looks at him in the mirror again, and she says, "Fight well or die well."
I'm definitely doing one of those soon. He sighs and lets the door shut by its own physics as he leaves your room. And you're left to yourself as the hand is still tink, 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 reaching towards you, and you are cleaning yourself up. What do you think about while you are alone? You just got a nice serotonin rush and are by yourself.
I think that she thinks on the future and how she plans to handle things going forward. Internally, she's decided that these SCP things are very dangerous, and that she should also, like, be more careful going forward. Like, she's usually, like, sort of impetuous because she can trust her own strength, but these things are stronger than she is, so she needs to be more cautious.
Yeah.
She's also
And-
thinking on Maggie and Bucky and Klifton. Just her various opinions on all of them. Bucky seems to be proving himself to be a little bit more than bait. She'd be interested in seeing how that goes going forward. There is
Spicy
a dangerous there's a dangerous middle ground between bait and warrior, and that middle ground is liability. So she is she's going to have to be cautious around him going forward. She thinks on Maggie and how she should track her down soon so that she can help her out with this computer thing. And she starts to think on Klifton. And I think that she just sort of like puts her hairbrush down or her comb down, and she just stares at herself in the mirror.
All right. And as you're pondering these thoughts, the camera turns, and Bucky, you have like fresh sheets and a pillow in your hands, and you're back in your normal clothes. You no longer have the D suit, and they're bringing you to the dormitory area. They let you know that, like, all right, it's only gonna be for the night before you get picked up and moved anyway, but you get, an actual mattress this time and some privacy. While you're walking down the hallway, it's just you and this one, like, lower ranked task force person. What are you thinking about in the last few days of your time here?
How fucked everything is. He just, like, one, nobody knows what he's talking about, which is, everyone should know what Bucky's talking about all the time. Two, he has gone from basically, like high school burnout kind of thing to watching multiple people die. Like, in very close proximity to each other. Not even a, like, oh, I saw a dude die once, and then a couple years later, I saw another guy. No, this is like, I was in a room with a guy, they took him away, he's fucking dead now, Klifton confirmed it. And next day, oh, another guy goes away, he's dead, Klifton confirmed it. I'm in a room, I'm watching a statue, a guy dies, and it's because I blinked. So Bucky's, like, you can tell, like, it's... the life of the Foundation is wearing on him quite a bit, because it's like I think it was Levi in Nights in the Courtyard last time, just like the one hard thing that Bucky has ever had to do in his entire life. Yes, it is a very hard thing for Bucky right now, but like now that he's like, I have my pillow and blankets, and I'm just gonna hold on to these, and if nobody has me do anything that's gonna result in people dying, I'm just gonna stay quiet, I'm gonna be in my room, I'm not gonna bother nobody, and maybe if I keep my head low enough, they won't have me go back on janitor duty.
Nice. And at that point, the trooper opens the door to one of the barracks rooms, and it's very plain. It does have the personal computer, no internet connection. It has a twin bed and bland walls, but it is no longer a cell, and you don't have to see other people through the bars. And you are left to yourself for a moment. As you're getting adjusted, Maggie, you are in the warehouse right now. One of the technicians asked if you could help finish up a new storage locker for some of these smaller automaton SCPs that are on site. Could you give me a mechanical repair check while you are working with them?
Sure. Let's see. A lower better. Lower than the number I have.
Lower better.
Okay. Then yeah, I pass it.
All right. So it's a simple job. It's like slightly more complicated than what you had been doing in IKEA for the past X amount of days. And you build kind of like a large, like trophy case style storage device. And you take SCP, what number is it? 1508? Mikey, the 1508, and a similar looking robot with the label SCP-846 on it. And you put them in there. There is another slot that is labeled Pesterbot, but they said that it's currently going under tests right now, so they'll put it in later.
Mm-hmm.
While you're here working, it's just you and this one technician, so you've got a lot of time for yourself to think and just like observe the quiet warehouse, currently not running any individual tests or anything. What's on Maggie's mind?
As she is probably doing some final touches on the welds on the storage, she is thinking about all the tools she has been given access to throughout her stay here and helping them out with things in the warehouse. Thinking of like trying to gauge like how much they're willing to give her. Even she's, Maggie's gone out of her way to also ask for things that she doesn't necessarily need. She could get through with like 2-3 tools, but she's like, let's see if they have this thing that might make this easier and is also a little more dangerous for someone that they're holding captive to be given. I mean, not that a blowtorch is safe, but and if they have given her pretty much anything she's asked for, she is going to think about her next step, because if they are giving her everything that she's asked tool-wise, that means that I am not a danger, and therefore if they wanted to, they could stop me in any moment, which has her on edge pretty much always. And she's thinking about if there's anyone on her now new team that is going to be able to help in the situation, if she were ever to get into a disposable position. She thinks about Bucky and how he'd be great to trip if they're running. Although he is speedy, I guess, but it just means he can get up faster, right? She thinks of Revna and how unbelievably capable she's seemed to be while we were inside of the IKEA. And she seems smart, maybe when she finally learns how to use a computer, she'll be unstoppable. And then she thinks about Klifton, the shady motherfucker, and how she doesn't exactly know what he can do. She's seen things that people shouldn't be able to do have happened in Klifton's vicinity. And so Maggie wonders exactly what Klifton's capabilities are and if they'd prove useful in a dangerous situation, and whether or not she should be more friendly to Klifton, or if she'd be better off being sort of indifferent as she is now. And she stays pondering on that because Clifton's her biggest question mark when it comes to the team.
Okay. And as you're pondering and prodding, like testing your limits and all that, some things you do learn is there is some limit to the supplies to request. It doesn't seem super difficult, but some things require the technician with you to go ask for permission for the item first. Anything above like an acetylene torch, like if you're like, I need a plasma cutter, or I need like a fucking giant ass, diamond saw, they have to ask up ahead first for the item. Other than that, most basic tools or like a soldering iron or a wood burner, whatever, they just like point you towards a nearby like cabinet and seems to be like trusting enough to let you get at those. And then some other thing that does happen is once you finish setting up this case, the technician turns to pack up their equipment and they let you know they're going to go on ahead. If you can just slide the glass door shut right before you go, then turn off the lights. They'll see you in the morning.
What's this guy's name or whoever?
This would be, who's the technician on the site? Technician Julie Adams.
Oh. I'll be like, yeah, absolutely. I see you when they need me again, I guess.
Yep, no problem. Like I said, though, turn off the lights, though. That it's a budget concern for a lot of people, so.
Oh, weird. Okay. Will do. And I'll definitely slide the door closed, make sure it's secured.
As you slide the glass shut, you feel a tugging at your pant leg before it shuts all the way. And you look down and you see that Mikey has one of their arms modified into an articulate hand, like toddler in size, and it's gripping with 3 fingers at your pant leg and just like looking up, still immobile.
At this point, I've worked with Mikey quite a bit, right?
So far, you've only had the one day.
The one day? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look down and be like, you good, buddy?
Doesn't seem to respond or move in any way.
And I try to remember like the rules of this, of Mikey, and I'm like, oh right, I have to phrase this in a please help me sort of way. Hey, buddy, can you help me put you to bed?
There's a 4-second pause of no response before the head tilts downward and lets go of the pant leg and like taps the 2 nubs of their arms together and just looks downward as you shut the door.
And I just keep I just like very slowly, not making any jarring moves, close it and make sure to latch it or lock it in whatever mechanism we chose.
All right.
And I'll like slowly back away. And I'll start heading for the exit and for what I'm assuming are the lights next to the door.
Okay. Can you make me a spot hidden check real quick?
I hate that for me. Absolutely. Where's my spot hidden? There it is. Oh, I don't have a bad roll on that. Oh, yes. Let's see. Yep. Pass it. I don't know why I rolled the second one. I knew I was going to pass it. Go for it.
You notice that one of the cameras in the warehouse has been tracking you as you turned and walked away from the cabinet towards the exit.
I'm gonna take like an obtuse route. That'll have me like doubling back, like, oh, I forgot to move this or put this away or something to make sure it's tracking me completely.
It does seem to be doing that. And as soon as you like, oops, no, that's the wrong cabinet, and like round a corner to try and blind spot that camera, you see a red dot click on another nearby camera as it tracks you. And then eventually, as you leave, all of the cameras like return to their default positions in the warehouse.
I'll turn off the lights, then turn them on for a quick second, and then turn them back off.
You flip the majority of the lights back on, and the place lights up like someone turning the gymnasium lights on. And there's a small like reflection rattle on the glass of the robot cage, and the sound of what sounds kind of like a plastic cap rolling to a stop somewhere. But beyond that, nothing seems out of ordinary. And you flick the lights back off, and there's that like lingering afterlight effect for a moment. And there doesn't seem to be anything else happening in that room.
She'll close the door and make sure it's secured. And she'll head back to... She'll probably hit up the cafeteria, and then she'll head back to her room. Or you know what?
Right.
She'll probably stop by Revna's room first.
Okay. So as you head to Revna's room, in the cafeteria is Klifton. You are by yourself. You have a cup of your preferred hot or cold beverage, and you were just wandering the small library that's on site. If you were to chilling by yourself, what would be running through your mind, and also what would you be looking for in a library in the facility?
Ooh, I would assume volumes on the occult. Just because I as much time as I've spent in weird libraries, that in my true occult knowledge is rather low.
Okay. So even without a library use check and a cursory glance, you notice that there are several sections in this mini library. It's like a middle school or elementary school size library. But there's things under the category of occult. There's things under the category of thaumaturgy. There's some sort of category called pattern screamers. There seems to be lots of different like mystical topics or branches and stuff like that. So there's is there a particular topic, or are you just kind of like thumbing through looking for a name that interests you? Or
I think once thaumaturgy section is found, he definitely takes time there, and we'll see if there is actual rituals and such, or if it's all redacted, blacked out, not. Is there anything he can really learn from this or not? He will speed read his way through them, like, okay, yeah, they took all the good parts out or coded them or something.
Okay, this time give me a library use check.
Let us see. Thank you for being alphabetical.
Thank you for being a friend.
All right. Library use. Ooh, not today. That's way too far off. Fudge it. Let's use the new push it rule. Since it's a magic book, what could go wrong?
The old rule that's always been there that we just now reminded ourselves of.
There it is. Ho, ho, ho.
Nice. That's gambling.
I went from 88 to 03.
Wow. fucking extreme success. So this is very easy for you to comprehend. It's written in the form of just an actual like scientific research book. Everything is very literal and detailed, but it only seems to be covering the understanding of what thaumaturgy is and what it covers in terms of terminology. There aren't any rituals in here, but you learn that thaumaturgy is the term used for any reality bending anomaly, mostly considered under the realms of magic. Things that cannot be explained or require some amount of spiritual or psychic connection to use. There's a section that talks about how both inanimate objects and sentient life forms and even non-sentient life forms like plants, even some of these things can possess like thaumial abilities, and they are categorized just like any other SCP. Yeah, that's pretty much the cursory that you get out of that. There is a section that talks about where to look next or who to communicate with next if you wanted to research further into a thaumaturgic item, or if you wanted to get permission to use an item or borrow a spell book or something like that, who to contact, which it lists, it tells you to contact your site director or whoever is the head of the science division of the site you are at. Otherwise, if you are the site director yourself and do not have permissions for whatever thaumial object, the next contact is the O5 Council.
Okay, Council. Excellent.
Another thing that is mentioned in like thaumaturgy is that some thaumaturgy causes mimetic effects, which is effects that alter or change or manipulate memory. And those are sometimes used in the SCP facility or foundation in order to provide amnesiatics to civilians who might have seen something fucked up, or in order to provide an easier therapy option for people working for the foundation.
Okay, did you zappy thingy me?
You did the thing.
You did the thing.
And as you're reading through this, what's going through Klifton's mind?
It's a weird yin-yang situation with him. He seeks more magical knowledge, like magical actual spells and stuff, but it truly is for like good, because he knows the terrors that lurk in the dark, and so he figures he has to arm himself and help, kind of a Doctor Strange kind of thing. Like the only thing that can fight with this stuff for real is magic, and so he's got to get himself some magic.
Okay. And as you're flipping through this book and learning this stuff, you kind of hear the sound of someone entering the cafeteria. And as they're like gathering up their own food, Dr. Palmer slides and sits next to you and looks at the book you're looking at. And I know, right? In this universe, magic's real. Like, it's actually a thing that happens. Terrifying and amazing at the same time, isn't it?
Definitely amazing. Dr. Palmer, are you the site director?
I am, yes. This site is built specifically for my needs to do long-term research on SCP-3008.
And hence, you have the authority to grant said individuals the ability to see more ritual, more useful in the field, practical magics.
Well, yes, though there's normally not much of a need for thaumial objects on my site, although we have considered bringing certain objects in for 3008 testing. Why has magic and sorcery piqued your interest? Are you thinking you want to be a wizard or something?
He doesn't smile. I smile. Well, mysticism and psychic talents, and as it is, technology understood is assumed to be magic. Understanding these mystical arts and how individuals do indeed manipulate said parts of the universe would be very interesting to me.
Well, the easiest way to look into getting your hands or eyes or other sensory devices on thaumiel objects would be to have some sort of innate uh, thaumiel abilities yourself. Maybe we can run some tests if you want. We can see if you might have any latent psychic abilities, or maybe you've got a little screamer in you yourself. Who knows?
Possibly. I have studied long and focused my attentions and believe that I do indeed have possibly some talents.
Oh, you believe you have some talents in your world. You are some sort of wizard already, or psychic, or do crystal balls or anything?
More of a spiritual leader and a guide to unlock your inner potential. Through yoga and meditation.
Oh, spiritualism, that kind of stuff, not actual, unlimited power kind of thing.
Correct. And can I use psychoanalysis to see how I feel about telling him that, oh yeah, I got clairvoyance?
Yeah, go for it. Let's read the room.
Okay. So, out of the tray. 20. Let's see, psychoanalysis. I'm lower than the second number.
All right, so a hard success.
Hard success. Okay.
So you can read the curiosity on Dr. Palmer's face as they are talking to you. It seems that they're trying to find out if you have already some sort of abilities that you are either hiding or might not be aware of, and are interested in the idea of running tests on you to figure out if you are thaumiel.
Mm-hmm.
There's not necessarily like a feeling of malice or anything, but it definitely seems to be an excited researcher curiosity more than like a friendly level or something.
Oh, because that's exactly his gig, guys. Klifton's gig. Klifton will kind of look around, and if it appears that there's nobody within earshot, he'll lean in and say, in my studies, I have found hypnosis useful, and I have had some clairvoyant success.
Really? Like what? Do you have an example?
Reaching out and asking questions of the cosmos and receiving real answers.
Ooh, have you ever done like a murder whodunit and helped find a missing person, or looked for your lost keys using a like a focus or something?
I have to imagine he has. Yes, I have assisted authorities in the past in my original universe.
Oh, all right. What would help us speed along the testing process if we wanted to look into that? If you are truthful about the fact that you might have some abilities of your own, that would be an interesting thing to look into. I'd be interested in looking into that's for sure.
I would like to push the boundaries of my knowledge, and I suppose if it is agreeable that I could help push your knowledge too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. I will make sure. I mean, we've only got, one night here, so I personally won't be able to help with it, but I will make sure to put in a note for the Site 11 director that you are interested and possibly have some sort of latent abilities already. Just to put in a good word for you so that we can do a little digging into.
That's most agreeable. Why thank you, Dr. Palmer. And,
You're most welcome.
Gives him a little little namaste kind of thing, a little respect.
Yeah. Well, I am going to enjoy my lovely whatever they gave us for dinner, and I am going to get back to my office. Enjoy that book, and see you in the morning.
He just nods.
Dr. Palmer kind of slides over to another table, and they pull out like a tablet and a little stylus, and they're kind of like working while munching as they were like reading something. And Maggie, you would have gotten to Revna's room by now. You probably passed the occasional staff person who's still walking around, or like a sleepy person heading to a bathroom, but there does seem to be like off hours here. It doesn't have like a 24-hour rotation or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So the calls are very quiet, and you get to Revna's door.
And she's working today, so she's like a little stiff in her shoulders, so she's been like slumping a little bit. But as soon as she gets to like Revna's door, she's like make sure pull back her shoulders and look strong, not look weak. And she does that, raises her chin a little bit, and she knocks on the door, and she's like, Revna, it's me.
Like she snaps to attention and reaches for her hatchet, but then recognizing Maggie says, enter.
And she does. It's like, I'm here to help you with this whole computer deal.
Tink, 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 tink. Little hand is going bonkers as you are chatting with Revna.
Revna nods, and she'll stand, sort of pick up that hand, and debating whether or not to carry it around in this facility. She's just going to throw it on the bed and then throw a blanket over it.
There's now the muffled sounds of glass tapping, but you can no longer see the hand.
Show me the way of this computer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Do you know anything about computers at all, or just from the start? Should I?
Very little. I have experienced not much time to learn these ways. The reading part is also difficult.
Okay. Well, hopefully this little disc here can help you out. I can't imagine how, but I've seen weird at this place. And so I show you the basics, like, all right, this is the PC, this is how you turn it on. You have to wait a little bit. Then you have, this is how a mouse works. Just go through all the basics. And then once all of that is done, I'm like, all right, I think you ready for this disc, see what it has to say.
She nods. Very
As
seriously.
you're tutorialing Revna through this, can Maggie make a computer use check? And if you're successful, can Revna make a computer use check with a bonus die?
Oh.
Oh my god, I don't know how that's possible. I passed.
What's your computer use?
5.
Nice.
I rolled a 4.
That's so good.
All right, we'll mark that skill. Revna, make a computer use check with
a bonus die. Now, you've mentioned before that we can make arguments for the use of additional skills or replacement skills. While I also have a 5 in computer use, my intelligence and my education are ridiculous. So, is there a possibility that could help me at all?
If you weren't already getting a bonus die from Maggie helping you, I would definitely say for improvisational skills, you would be able to lean on those.
Understood. That's just me being greedy. I want 2 beds. Well, that is not below a 5. I got significantly more than 5. But it's not a fumble, so
that's good. All right, so it is incredibly difficult to keep up with what Maggie is showing you. And although you kind of get what they're trying to explain, you still end up needing Maggie to be the one holding the mouse and like clicking you through the program as you're starting this up.
I think that Revna essentially just like defers to her to like move everything around on the computer. It's like, you interact with the computer, I will interact with the knowledge.
Okay, all right. Take some time to get used to. All right. Let me just put this disc in, and you just watch the magic of putting in this disc in as it disappears into the machine.
This strange shiny frisbee gets sucked into the machine, and
I think that she like reaches to try and get it back, and then she just like sort of like shrugs at Maggie like it's gone. It ate it. I'm sorry.
And as the confusion settles in, the monitor, which previously had like a bunch of tiny like folders that Maggie's trying to show you, gets taken over by a black screen, and then it flickers to life with this cute little cartoon schoolroom. Like if you've ever played like a 2000s era educational game where like a putt-putt or Pajama Sam game, like that style animation, and a logo pops up that says Mrs. J Wiz Kids Schoolhouse. And then a little animated figure kind of pops up, like a feminine character, pale white complexion with like a ponytail, all still the same color, standard, and then like a green like school teacher outfit, and she greets you and is like, "Hey, I'm Miss J. What are we trying to learn today?" There's like a little like blinking line, like a type P or command prompt.
I'm just gonna I'll do all this stuff. You just have to watch, okay? And then is it no click on anything? It's just type.
So far, it just has that blinking line, like there is a text prompt waiting for an input.
And you're trying to learn English, right? That's the whole point of this thing.
I know English. I need to learn the letters and how to write them.
Okay. And I'll type in how to read and write English.
Ask if she knows the runes of Brengard.
Uh, Drengar to English translator.
Oh, I see you're trying to use the alternate language of Brengar to learn English. That's good. Are you having assistance right now? It seems someone is typing in English right now.
Yes.
Alrighty then. Well, this isn't too difficult of a program, so if you go ahead and leave me with the student, I can take care of things from here.
Well, that's mildly terrifying.
And
Okay.
then there's a little jaunty tune that plays, and Miss J starts to sing this song about how parental supervision sometimes corrupts the teacher's ability to educate a child without bias.
Okay, all right. Okay. So this I'm gonna be right outside if you need me. She will help you. It turns out she knows Rengar, so
Yes, I can hear.
yeah. It's more for me than it is you. All right, I'll be just right outside. If you need me. All right. Good luck.
I will be all right. She is very small.
It's cool. I can take her.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, cool, awesome. I'll see you on the other side. They'll just walk straight. Still, in this one, it feels a lot more fake because Maggie is a little freaked out. Just all right, puffing up chest, just gonna walk out. I'm very confident in what is happening right now.
All right. As you leave, there's this static image pause. The humongous entertainment animation doesn't have anything for this idle scene. And then after a second, the animation kicks back in. She goes, "All right, is it just you and me? Do me a favor. There are 2 buttons on this keyboard. One that looks like this, and one that I don't fucking know how to do an N right now that I think about it. And one that looks like this." And she does a hand gesture that looks like an N. If you can press this one, if you understand, if you are alone.
She takes a moment to stare at the keyboard and just try and find the particular rune that she's gesturing.
Make another computer use check.
Oh,
we're gonna try and train you today.
Okay. I'll do my best. Am I rolling this one with advantage or nah?
Since you have Mrs. J's help, yeah, you will be rolling with bonus dice.
Help me out, Miss J.
They're a very helpful educational program.
That is a failure once more.
All right. After a while, she goes, "Remember, they look like this," and 2 images of just the key Y and N pop up, and the animation of a big finger pushing down on one and then pushing down on the other.
I think that Revna's reaching paralysis. I don't want to hit the wrong button because it's gonna explode type of thing.
But eventually you do find these 2 keys.
Tap.
Did you tap Y or N?
Y. She can
Okay.
follow instructions.
Oh yeah, I didn't know if this was a Stanley Parable and you're I'm just gonna lie to the computer and see what happens. She goes,
At this point, she's forgotten what the question was.
"Good. All right. Let's begin." In the next 4 hours, you have this lesson between you and Miss J, who seems to be able to interact with you directly. Instead of asking you to input keys after a while, you nodding in agreement seems to be enough for them to register that you are still talking to each other. She's incredibly helpful. And she flips between, surprising to you, she flips between Rengar and English. She goes, "Try this line. When the opera, when the show is suited, throughout the march that passes the route, I would like to buy a bottle of wine." and stuff like that. And it's honestly like the ultimate Rosetta Stone. Within 4 hours, you have a like 6th grade level typing skill on the computer. You can at least like do C-spot run without extreme difficulty. Go ahead and mark computer use for later.
Huzzah. Watch me succeed my roll later. Oh,
That'd be ridiculous.
wouldn't it?
Okay, so the rest of the evening goes swimmingly. Everyone gets a good night's rest. There is, though, around like 4 or 5 in the morning, where an alarm blares in the hallway. Doesn't seem to be like a major panic alarm, but enough to be like, eh. Security, please report to your designated locations. Please report to your designated locations. We have a minor breach in the SCP 3008. And can everyone give me a listen check?
They say 3008.
Yeah.
That's us.
Yeah, Revna knows what that is. A listen check, eh?
I get a half success.
Okay.
Also have a half success.
All right.
I failed.
Noted.
Is 0, 0, 100?
0,
0, 0 is the lowest it can go. This is 0.
Yep, that is a 0. That is like the most perfect success you can get.
Then that's what I got.
All right. So Bucky doesn't even wake up to these alarms at all. Revna and Maggie, you hear the alarms and some muffled footsteps happening from outside. You can hear somewhat vaguely the voice talking about something with a breach and 3008. Klifton, you take the time to put your ear up against the door as people are passing. And you hear a couple of security members complaining about the frequency of the breaches since they let them stay here. I don't even know why Dr. Palmer lets them keep the thing. Like, we know what it's doing. It's causing it. It's what is this, bait so we can get more data? And the other one's like, I don't know. It doesn't seem to fucking cause too much stress. We just put them down and they take the bodies away. I don't give a shit. And you can hear the muffled sounds of gunshots as the door opens, and very faintly, I'm sorry, we are closed right now. But after an hour of this noise, the alarms turn off. There's a lot of foot traffic now, very early in the morning. It sounds like a lot of like stretchers or carts with wheels or something are being like moved through the hallways. And then at that point it's like 5, 6 a.m. and you're like wakey lights turn back on, and you have free reign to wander about. So it's the first day of y'all being a research team. You have the current task of, you chose to find the right one for you as your test subject. 2203. Okay. And so you can go about it at your own pace. You can chat with each other whenever you want, or go wherever you want, besides, any restricted areas with your current permissions. What are we up to?
Would this be a good spot to go to break?
Actually, yes.
Okay, so we're going to go to break. We're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, kick the bot out of the chat. We're going to do all sorts of fun things in this 5 to 10 minutes. So we're going to try and be back. Don't go no place, and we'll see y'all shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon. And we're back. Hello, everybody, and welcome. We have returned from our break. shit's apparently going down at the containment field, but at least it was, the alarms have stopped blaring, at least from what we're able to tell. Media, are they still going anywhere else? Take us away.
All right. On the first day of their probationary time or period as junior researchers, there was, to note, a minor breach in SCP-3008. A total of 7 of SCP-3008-2s came out of the entryway, all charging in a particular direction, as if guided by something. According to Dr. Palmer's research, it seems that the cadavers of other expired SCP-3008-2s attract hordes of SCP-3008-2 unless they are incinerated or otherwise disposed of on a cellular level. Dr. Palmer recommends the removal of the severed hand in SCP-6965-2's inventory and leave it at the facility or return it to SCP-3008 after some research. The cameras in the warehouse show the preceding test period wherein Dr. Palmer and new site security member Major Green are supervising the team as they run a mock research of SCP item number 2203. So the 4 of you have woken up and are enjoying breakfast in the canteen. There's like some chatter of other people in here, a couple of security guards, a couple of junior researchers. Some people look like tired from dealing with stuff this morning. Otherwise, all 4 of you are enjoying a meal together.
Yeah, perhaps. I think that whatever we are eating, Revna is just sort of like aggressively stabbing with her fork. She is still a little bit torn up over having to relinquish the Vartigan.
And Danae, your audio is a little low. Probably being throttled by Zoom.
Because Zoom loves to throttle me.
Mm-hmm.
When did they take that from you?
It was suggested. And I think that if it is suggested, Revna would 100% give it up.
Oh, so I didn't get a chance to get to you before that was okay. All right.
Oh yeah, no one has approached y'all today, at least, about anything.
Oh, if they haven't, then I've still got it.
Okay.
For sure.
Then that would have been like, as soon as the lights came on, I'd have knocked on Revna's door.
Announce yourself.
It's Klifton?
Revna smoothly reaches over and grabs her hatchet before cracking the door open.
I overheard them this morning speaking on their way to that alarm. The security forces were blaming your hand trophy fetish token, as it were, for the incursions of the said monsters from 3008.
She glances back into the room and then back at Klifton and says, that trophy was earned through combat. They can also earn it.
Just letting you know. He kind of just fades away like, I'm not going to be stuck in the head with a hatchet for this. But
Oh, she's holding it behind her, essentially.
Psychoanalysis. Yeah,
She could kill me with her hands, probably.
Exactly. Just a little guy.
Yeah, no, she just watches him leave, and she doesn't shut the door until he's out of sight.
Okay.
All right. And then the rest of the evening passes, and we are at that moment where it is the morning. The group has gathered back up.
Yeah, Bucky is like sitting next to Klifton, and he is saying like, last night was one of the first like decent night's sleeps that I've had. Like, it was so nice, like not being interrupted by anything, or like people yelling at me. Like I could just like, get my 8 in, like get my solid 8. But then this morning when I went to take a shower, like they don't have the right product, but like I'm making it work,
Indeed you are, Bucky. Your hair is just as shiny and such as the first time we met.
Really? Oh.
I would indeed say that.
No, I trust you, Klifton. Almost implicitly.
As you should.
Instead of stabbing her meal, as I described before, Revna has a notebook out, and she is like slowly inscribing the new runes that she has learned. Q, W, E, R, T, Y, in that order.
I'll be like, so it all went well, Revna? Program worked?
She sort of gives her a side eye and then like nods sharply.
Cool. Yeah, look at Bucky. No interruptions last night. Not even one?
I mean, like there was like this time where like I woke up and like my mouth was a little dry, so I got some water and that was about it. Other than that, it was like I don't know, I don't know if it's just my room or your guys' room, but there's like this like nice hum, that like you can really like focus in on. It's like white noise. Almost a little bit.
Every time you open your mouth. And so then I look over at Klifton and I say, and you're good? Books have been good? They've been letting you read them?
Not the ones I want, but I'm hopeful. Yeah, the rumors and such, I could hear quite a bit last night. The gunfire in particular was methodic.
I'm glad at least some of us can hear.
G-U-N.
So how do we want to start all of this research thing?
I have to assume they'll provide us with transport or a lab and some parameters. Most experimentation was very structured.
We have received an assignment. SCP-2203.
2203. That's fine, the right one for you.
Colloquially.
Well, it's like, okay, so part of it is finding the right one for you. Obviously, that's in the name. But I think that what we're all really missing here is figuring out the team dynamic. Like, who's going to be team leader?
D-I-E.
Maybe let's like discuss that after we talk about what we're good at when it comes to group projects, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. I am good at the Q&A section. Like, after the project gets done, you kind of just stand and you're like, does anybody have any questions? Like, I was so good at that. Other than that, I'm good at, like, if we need to go anywhere, like, do anything. Like, I'm really good at driving. Like, really good at driving. Although, I don't know if my license carries over since we're in a different place that's not where I'm from. Do we need a license here? Do I have to take the exam again?
Red light, green light, yellow light.
Wait, question. Do our money work in this universe?
Do you have money on you?
I had so much money before, but I don't know. Did they take Visa cards? Or like Master Check?
This is physically hurting Wings.
Never heard of them?
No, it's like the main two banks, Visa and Master Check.
No.
Really? You
doesn't-
never heard? Okay.
No, doesn't ring any bells. No.
All right. Okay, so, huh.
Are you talking like passport? Like that's a really big.
Oh
Really
yeah,
big
no.
one.
I wonder if like my passport. I don't have my passport on me. This might be a really bad. Like, were we supposed to carry our? Oh my God, were we supposed to get it stamped while we were in the IKEA?
It was an IKEA. Anyways, how about you, Klifton? What are you good at? Do you think in a group dynamic?
I do have people skills, and I border on the mystic. I have some knowledge in those realms, and my wanderings in other places have made me rather stable in insane situations.
Did y'all go to school? Were homeschool? Is that a thing y'all did? Did y'all not have group projects in school?
I had group projects.
Yes.
You know, like good like research. Either of you good at research?
Yes.
All right,
What?
there we go. Are you good at following directions, Bucky?
Yeah, no, I was super good at that.
Oh, yep, 100%. And Revna, aside from you're a very capable fighter.
I once lost a swimming contest, but it was because I had to stop and slay a sea monster on the way.
Okay, so maybe all right, swimming so long as no fighting. Okay, were there other things that you did aside from fighting?
I know the various herbs and plants of the forest that can keep one from dying on the battlefield. And as a healer, I have about 2 out of every 10 men I have prevented from dying.
All right, awesome, better than 0. Cool. Awesome, and I'm pretty good with my hands.
Piloted something called a forklift one time in the IKEA.
Oh, cool. All right, awesome.
All right, forklift certified.
I did not say that.
No one said I had to do it well. All right, cool. Glad we have that covered. Can you read, Bucky? Is that
Yeah, I can read.
Okay. All right.
As
Just
long as
making
it's
sure.
not like fancy letters.
Kind God, I hate to ask. What do you mean by fancy letters?
Well, like, like sometimes like when you write things out, like the letter starts at a big letter and then the line just like keeps going into a bunch of other letters. Like I can't read those super well. Takes me a little bit of time. Or like if it's like there's like that one letter that looks like an A and an E, but they're kind of like rubbing up butts. Like I don't know how to pronounce that one. And then there are the ones where it's like the little dots above. That's what made the IKEA like super confusing. It was like there was so many fancy letters on like everything there.
Revna returns her attention to her journal. E, N, V, E, Y. Y. Crosses out that E. Y.
As you all are chatting at the table, a junior researcher comes by with a folder. He goes, "Hey, all right. So I have some newly printed tags for y'all. These are your level 0 clearance cards. Try not to lose these, especially in transport. The write-up and consequences of that are pretty something else. So they will let you have access into anywhere level 0 would have access to. Dr. Palmer told me that room 23 was set up for you whenever you were ready with your project." And he just walks away. You all have it's like an ID card. There's like a square 4 in image, but there's nothing there. It says level 0. It's got like a gray bar along it.
Has it got like the
Pass
little
them out.
like hole on the side that you can like clip a lanyard onto?
Yeah.
Revna's just got one of those ready to go. And she dons her talisman. She'll flip her journal shut and stand. Are we prepared?
A big nod and half bow, and there was no folder or anything, right? Just the cards. Okay.
Nope, just these little clearance cards.
Room
Get up
23 it is then.
Let's see what awaits us.
All right. So you all get up and head out of the cafeteria and travel down the series of hallways to get to the SCP testing facilities. You walk a few halls down before you get to your room in question. And it is a standard security door, armored with a bulletproof glass window slate that you can peek through. If you look in, you see that the machine from the warehouse is set up in the center of the room. There is a security camera pointing towards it. Dr. Palmer and the new security officer are in there waiting. It seems to be just like a stark white lab room.
Open the door and walk in.
All right. The researchers are here. Are you ready? Are you ready to get started? Show us what you've got.
Yes, we are, I believe.
Right. So I'm going to give you a list of goals. These are the things that we typically expect from a researcher when they are handling an anomaly. How you go about it is typically up to you. If you need resources such as personnel, D-class, or items, you can make a request. Anything that you are to do with this object, please log the procedures and the results, and at the end of it, what we need from you is the object's number. Of course, we already have that one, so you don't need to worry about finding a slot open for it. What you would categorize it as, and so these I suppose I should explain to you how these work. So you're going to need to classify its containment level, and we have safe, which is objects that still are anomalies. They're still not normal, so obviously we still need to contain them. but they aren't really hazardous, or they are somehow helpful, and aren't really at a risk of escaping. If you think that it is an object that has the risk of harm or death or illness, injury, etc., is containable but a threat, put it under the category of Euclid. If you think it is something that is just really difficult to hold down, probably can't technically be contained, but we can at least build like walls around kind of deal, go ahead and put that under Keter. There's a few other categories like Thaumiel and Arcane and that kind of stuff. But for now, you just need to worry about those three. So tell us what category it should be in, what containment procedures we should do. Should this be kept away from direct light? Should we seal it around lead? That kind of stuff. Tell us what types of procedures one would need to do in order to keep this contained and safe. And then a decent write-up of the object, what it looks like, and what its anomalous properties are. Those are the three major things we need in any report. Its category, its containment procedures, and a description of the object. Otherwise, we're here just in case you need to make a request for something. If you need us to bring in some D-class to have them, touch or lick something. If you need, us to go get a torch because you want to try a fire test or something, let us know. We're just going to sit back and watch you at it. And when you are done, go ahead and give us a report here. I have this little tablet. Maggie, if you want to hold on to this, and they offer Maggie a 10-inch computer tablet. It's got like a Word program already loaded up on it. You go ahead and you can be in charge of the tech for us. All right. Good luck. Go for it. You've got this. And Dr. Palmer just kind of like looks and is waiting and watching.
Dr. Palmer literally leaned forward and put his face in his hands.
Dr. Palmer's like, yeah.
Just like. Oh my god. Okay.
GB adores Palmer.
Oh, for sure. Palmer's the best.
Devastated when something bad happens to them.
Oh yes, I know. I'm waiting for the heartbreak.
No, I really hope that he's just malicious and he's just fun but also evil. It could be anything, honestly. Who knows what's gonna happen with Dr. Palmer? But that's not the problem right now. What do we see?
Yes.
As far as what we're interacting with here.
So, the object in question is it looks like a standard love tester amusement. It's got a 25-cent coin deposit slot and a little joystick to hold on to. There are a series of light bulbs along the sides of it. I can't read the bottom one very well, but it's I don't know, the worst, clammy, harmless, mild, blurry, wild, burning hot stuff, how hot are you? How much love can you get kind of stuff. At the top of it, it says love tester. And there's a little printer slot for some sort of paper or ticket to come out of. It is a dark, not exactly dark, like kind of a brassy brown wood, as well as a wood, brass, and glass combination cupboard around the light fixture. Also, next to the grip on the on the machine is a brass plate that has the engraving, "Find the right one for you. Test your love and find that right special someone you are destined to spend the rest of your life with. Your sweetheart is waiting."
The last one, I looked up this model of love tester. The last one says, "Poor fish, try again."
Oh. I think that Revna sits there and kind of sounds out the letters to herself before she leans in and asks Maggie to read what everything says to her.
And I'll do so, absolutely, without hesitation.
Absolute, like very quietly, so that the others don't hear.
I'll be like, okay, so it's called a love tester. That's the big words at the top, and then I'll just go on like that.
Is this a common object in your worlds?
I've seen something kind of like it at I don't know, like a fair where a lot of people get together and just have a lot of silly fun. I was seeing it there before, but
I haven't seen anything like these since I was a kid.
I've never seen one IRL, so
I've seen one.
Yeah, and I'm playing my age, so yes.
I don't think I've ever seen a working one.
So to clarify, is it 2 handles that 2 people hold, or is it one like handle or 2 handles that one person
wooden
holds?
handle with like a little screw on top to keep it fastened.
Mm.
With 2 25-cent symbols next to it pointing down towards a coin slot.
Dr. Palmer, could we have $20 worth of quarters and say 6 orange suits? D-class individuals?
All right. Sounds like a good start. Okay. You got that for me? Okay. And the new security guard, like without a word, just arms folded, serious-looking motherfucker, goes out. And after about 2-3 minutes, they come back with 6 D-class personnel, and they sit on like a bench along the side. 6 D-class, and several rolls of. Oh, I have been audio throttled. Yes, I have. Hardcore. So you are given 60 class personnel as well as $20 in quarter rolls. In quarters. All right.
Would you approach, pointing to one of the D-class individuals, would you approach the device, place one of these quarters in the slot, and hold the handle, please? Follow the instructions on the machine.
One of them stands up, takes a quarter, looks at it. It's not plugged in. Is it like? Should we plug it? Should I plug it in or just put the money in?
Just proceed.
Okay. Tentatively slides the coin in, and as the coin pops in, a series of lights like go on the machine, and it seems to be in a standby mode, and the D-class grabs the handle. The light box cycles through each light, playing a cute little melody. Then the light chimes, please try again, and plays a burr, 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 burr. And then the lights fade off, and a ticket comes out. He looks at it, and it's just a piece of paper. It's just a blank piece of paper, and he like offers it to one of you.
Is there any kind of clipboard or anything in the room?
Sure. There's like a little table with like clipboards and pens and some stacks of paper.
I take a clipboard and hold it out and, like, Vanna White, like, lay it here, please. And I look at it, and it's just a blank piece of paper.
It seems to be. It's like the size of a personal business card, a bit of a flimsy paper, like movie theater ticket dispenser consistency. There's a bit of a sheen to it. Otherwise, there's nothing written on either side.
All right, and so then I'll lay it down on the clipboard and take a pen and slide it forward, and I'll just write 1 and an arrow pointing to it, and then I'll be like, and you, the second person on the bench, you may sit down.
First person sits down. Second one gets up. Big old burly person. All right.
Hand them a quarter. And would you please attempt to use the device?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get a fucking choice in it, so. And he goes up.
I know. I'm very sorry about that, and I'll pat him on the shoulder.
Bucky
Sure.
has a notepad and he's like writing safe ?
The next person puts the coin in, the same lights up. You want me to grab it, do the thing?
Yes, please.
All right. Grabs it, and after a few cycles of lights, a score comes up, and it says "naughty but nice." And there's like a da-da-da-da-da-da, and another piece of paper slides out.
And I grab the clipboard. And, I'm like, would you proceed to read your results?
Jacob Hofstadter, 234 West India Avenue, Louisiana. I don't. Looks like someone's address.
Very, very good. Very good. Thank you very much. And I hold the clipboard out for them to place it on.
Louisiana equals real.
Do we have these guys' names?
So they only have like identifying numbers on their jumpsuits since they are D class. So you've got like just like D1456, D24601, you know.
Okay. And does the tablet that Maggie does it have a camera and or video capability?
Yeah, it looks like a modern, modern being somewhere between the year 2010, 2020 era tablet. It's got a front and back facing camera. It has its own like protective case and a little like stylus on a little one of those like swirly springy cords.
Yeah. And I'll be like, Maggie, if you'd be so kind as to get a picture of this, and I'm assuming with our level of technology that in 2010 or whatever, does the camera have enough memory to film this whole situation, or is everything being filmed by other CTV cameras?
Well, there are security cameras in the room, but there also is both photo and video capability on the tablet.
All right, if you would be so kind, Maggie, is to take a picture here and
Of the ticket?
yes, and then of the individual, and we'll mark them as subject to.
I'll in the notes that I had on whatever D class, whatever.
Mhm.
I'll take a picture of them and put it next to that information, along
Nice.
with like proof of concept of what I had already written down about Jacob, whatever.
Okay. As you take the picture of the as you take a picture of the card, there's like a strange glitch on the screen for just a moment, as suddenly the screen shh.
Hate that.
And you now have a photo of that card with the person's name and address on it. There's also seems to be on the backside of the card, when you take the backside photo, there's a list of suggested dinner locations, allergies listed, favorite like romantic moments, etc. Like looks like guides on how to like get that first date right.
Best
Nothing specific
machine
though,
ever.
right?
I think that Revna's been hanging out in the back, just sort of like watching and considering. And when the most recent D-class retreats, she will lean into him and say, "What is your name?"
Kyle.
It is not Jacob.
I don't know who the fuck that is on that card. No, my name's Kyle.
She just sort of nods and then looks back at the machine, considering.
And yeah, definitely put everyone through the ringer on this. Just keep going along.
All
Unless
right.
something yeah. What more do we learn in this?
So as you go through, everyone takes their runs through the test. So you've got stuff like Sylvia Califano, blah blah blah, Monte Vista, but you already know that as one. Another one comes up under uncontrollable, and it says Olivia Scarborough, blah blah blah, address, this place in this country, Leeds, patience, friendly. And then you've got Oscar Hamilton, Denver. He'd be a perfect gentleman. And it just kind of goes on like that until everyone cycles through. Besides the first person who got like a you failed thing, the other 5 D classes all get suggestions.
Wait, I have an idea.
Yes.
And Bucky grabs the micro. Like, is there like a microphone every time, or are they just like in the same room?
They're in the same room with you. It's a large like stark white cell essentially, and there's a long bench along one side, and they've all been sitting there, and you'd call one up to come over.
Are you dating anyone right now? Were you dating anybody before you came here?
The first D-class person looks... What the fuck are you talking about? We're D-class. We don't got a fucking life anymore.
Okay, so I'll take that as a maybe. I don't know. You can find love in all sorts of wild places, man.
And did anyone, when they pulled the ticket, go, "Oh shit, yeah, that's my, my girlfriend," or whatever?
The third person who grabbed it, the one that said, "But you already know that," and shakes their head, puts the card down. They seem to have like a recognition on their face, like they seem to already know the name.
Because these machines are meant for you to test. Like, if you're like with somebody on a date, like you want to like grab the thingy, and then it shows you if you'd be compatible with them, right? But what if this thing is showing you like who you'd be compatible with? So it's like spitting out like a name and address of somebody you might not even know, but then it's telling you like, go find that person, chase your dreams, follow your love.
I mean, it could just be a random person too. We've only run these guys through it once.
Okay, hold on. This might sound crazy, but we need a control, right? That's what they call it in science. You need like a control varsity, or like one thing that you know versus the other things that you don't know.
Yes, Bucky. I chose this so that you could maybe find Claire.
Oh my god! No, that'd be perfect! Oh my god, Klifton! Klifton, you're a genius! Give me 25 cents!
And he hands you a quarter.
My master check account does not work here, apparently. He'll go up to the machine, and he'll look back at the group, and he'll give a thumbs up.
I'm
Bucky
not even
will
looking.
fucking chunk in that 25 cents. Now the
Right.
trick is, you don't want to have clammy hands because it'll know. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
there you go.
Watch and learn, D class. He'll grab onto the machine.
It says hot stuff and plays the congratulatory music and prints out a card.
Bucky takes it and he'll look.
So quick question, in your world, where does Claire live?
Claire lives in the same city that I am from, which is God, what would it be?
Landtowndia.
No. It would be it would the old name of New York. Like it never became New York. It was always
Old
New
York.
Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Okay. So knowing that, you look down and it says Claire Osterson, 13 Chicago Street, Site 11, Lansing, Michigan.
Michigan. The fuck's Michigan?
All right. I think we can put a pause on this test for now. Here, if I can just have that card.
What?
And Dr. Palmer is like reaching, like twiddling their fingers towards the card that Bucky's holding.
Yeah, no, he's like more just like, what the fuck? What is a Michigan?
All right, cool. Thanks you. All right, I'm just gonna
Did Maggie
take
get a
this and-
picture? That's what I want to know.
Bucky, when Bucky mentions
He
Lansing
says
in
the thing out
Michigan,
loud. Yeah, like he reads
Dr.
it.
Palmer immediately like, all right, we are done here. Okay. Well, that's some interesting stuff we have here. Wow. So we're gonna have to put a pause on this, because it looks like I just got word, and like they look over at the security guard, who for a moment looks confused. He's like, yep, just got word. All right, the mobile task force that is coming to pick you up and take you to your new home is here.
We
Wait,
are
new
not
home?
finished.
Oh, I know. You didn't get to finish your test. That just. Well, we'll have to. We'll have them run another one for you when you get there. We're gonna just
Bucky.
take. If I can get that tablet back too,
Claire
we'll
was your
take.
lover.
Yeah. Like we've been
she's-
going steady for a while.
He's gonna like hold a hand out to Klifton. Give me a coin.
Hands you a coin.
She's if she isn't stopped, she's gonna throw it in there and run the test.
Gotta blow on your hands first.
Right, Revna, can you make a sanity check for me? As the machine falls silent when you put your hand on it.
Oh fuck. Okay. I'm gonna have to explain my thinking here in Nights in the Courtyard, but here we go. That's a failure.
Okay, so we are going to roll some damage. So you are going to take 5 points of sanity damage.
You've been throttled once again.
Could you just not zoom? Okay, for 1 minute.
for just a second, please.
All right, so
I'm gonna
take
go ahead and-
5 sanity damage.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my resilient trait to reduce that.
Okay. As the card prints out, it simply says a single line of dialogue on it. You led them to her.
Revna just sort of numbly stares at it for a second. And then she'll hand it to Maggie.
I don't have the tablet anymore. I
Oh,
already
you
gave
did
it over
hand
to...
it over?
Yeah, I did
Okay.
hand it over. I'm not taking any fall for this. I'm out here writing notes.
All right, Maggie.
Yeah,
doesn't-
all right. You know,
Maggie
we're all
doesn't
having
take
our
it.
fun here, so we're just gonna.
I'll read it.
All right, if yeah, Maggie, you do get enough time to look at it before Dr. Palmer grabs it, and they kind of like throw a blanket over the machine and put stuff down on the table. Security guard grabs the D class and like everything suddenly is like very shuffle. Like, let's go. All right, we're leaving this room. All right, and you are left in the hallway of the testing facility as they leave. Dr. Palmer saying something about going to get the task force so that they can take you to your new home, and just awkwardly leave the four of you in the hallway for a minute.
I look at Bucky and I say, don't repeat it. Don't repeat where the location where Claire is. Don't say it again until we are there to the next location we're going.
Where's the next location that we're going?
Site 11.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
We don't want anyone to change any plans because of what we just found out.
Wait, so did I do a good thing or a bad thing?
You'll be just fine. Bucky.
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay.
It's just like think about it like one of those people in red suits. Do you guys have that one where they like take a camera and they like erase your memories when you see something you're not supposed to?
No, I don't think so. Oh my god, did they erase my memory of them?
Nope.
No. Just we're in like a secret government facility. And they're very shifty. They don't want you knowing things. So we gotta pretend we don't know nothing.
Like the D-men.
Out of character, a red suit just sounds very conspicuous.
You don't know how people dress in my time. You know?
It's true. If Revna still has hold of that card, I think she just slowly starts to crumple it in her fist.
All right. And as you're talking in the hallway, a trio of armed personnel come around the corner. They're a bit more geared up than the typical security personnel around here. They all have matching patches on their arm that reads MTF Theta 13. Bring out your dead. And one of them walks up and, you all the new research team I'm supposed to be escorting?
Yeah. I think so.
Yes.
Staff Sergeant Poppy.
You say beep?
Poppy.
Poppy.
Like the seed.
Oh! Like the muffin!
Yeah. So, anyway, it's a bit tight. We have a lot of sarcophagi this time around, so you're going to have to sit on a few of them, if that's all right. Not too long of a drive. It's only about 8 hours.
Are they like mummies?
I mean, like, yeah, technically.
Huh.
I mean, so long as they say dead.
I mean, that's what our job is for, so at least for the ride, you can rest assured that my team will make sure that they remain in that state until they get to where they're supposed to be.
Bucky, would you need to use a restroom before we get on the road?
Bucky, he's like, no, I should... A very wise man once told me, and he's like obviously referencing Klifton as the wise man who once told him that there are 2 things in life you should never turn down: a drink of water and a chance to use the restroom.
Yeah, I imagine in our time in the IKEA, Klifton was very aware of the time, and he would go, if anyone needs to use the facilities, now would be a good moment, before store closing.
Yeah, Bucky will go use the facilities, and then he's all ready to go.
Revna will go have a Silent Hill moment in the bathroom and just stare at her reflection for a bit.
All right. Is there anything anyone needs to do or grab before they get on their ride?
That sounds like a very pointed question.
I mean, just everything that we own
came with?
that we brought out of the thing, if it's allowed to come with us.
Yeah, so you can all grab any of your personal belongings that you have had. Though at least in Revna's case, when a task one of the Bring Out Your Dead task members like pops their head in to check on you, Revna, they point towards the jar and the emergency hatchet you got from IKEA, and goes, yeah, Dr. Palmer said that and that can't leave the facility since they are extensions of SCP-3008.
I think her head snaps to him aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, these are Dr. Palmer's orders.
Yes?
If I find that you are lying, it will be your end.
Make an intimidate check.
I have to find intimidation. That is a success. Barely not a half success. I don't feel the need to push it.
All right, it's fine. I mean, like I said, Doc's orders, I mean, I don't know anything about this anomaly, but they say that hand and that axe has got to stay, something about like magnetic attraction, end of the world scenario stuff. I don't know.
Yep. She stands, hands him the axe handle first. And as he takes the Vardigan, she holds it briefly for a moment, leans in and says, "Do not let it break. It will strangle you in your sleep." And then just sort of pushes it into his arms.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. Cool. Anyway, we're in the dry dock right now. If you want to, yeah, I gotta go. And the operative takes the jar and axe and disappears.
Just unblinking as he leaves.
The section of bamboo walking stick, since it came from the IKEA, do they take that?
Yeah, anything that you have like makeshift out of IKEA items, anything that didn't initially come with you into the IKEA, they end up asking to like remain.
So my few meager items I'm carrying without my makeshift bag that I made out of like paisley couch upholstery. So my carpet bag is gone and I just have my stuff kind of carrying it.
All right, so Klifton's all packed up. Revna's got their gear. Does Maggie or Bucky need to grab anything or do anything?
Just I guess just the tools I came in with. The
All right.
IKEA with. And
Yep.
made it out with me.
Yep, so all of the tools that you've managed to hold on to for so long are still with you. One of the tools looks like well used, and they do offer you a replacement if you want it. Otherwise, if it's the sentimental attachment, you can keep the old one.
I'm like, can I take it anyways? Can I just have 2 of them? Use this one until it's gone and then have that one
Sure.
with me when it breaks?
And they
Awesome.
hand you. It's like one of those like adjustable combination wrenches.
Mm-hmm. The collection continues.
Yeah, Bucky
I guess
didn't have anything really going into the IKEA. Like, it was like, like one of those, like, we'll pop into the IKEA and then be back home for dinner kind of thing. Like, he doesn't have fucking anything on him.
I'll ask for like a backpack or a bag or a satchel or something.
They have like some plastic grocery bags from a drawer that they pull out and offer to you.
It's perfect.
It's under
You
the
know, that
same-
plastic bag drawer, everyone's got one.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the plastic bag that's full of other plastic bags.
Mhm.
Exactly. Oh my God.
So once you all have your items like all gathered together, you head out to the motor pool, and there's like what looks like a funeral procession of hearse vehicles in like a parade line. They seem to be slightly moving, like they never were put fully into park or something. And some of the mobile task force people are like kind of walking next to it, like they're ghost riding the fucking car or something. And as you step out, the Staff Sergeant Poppy looks over and like, oh, just in time. Hearses are getting ready to start moving again, so we're gonna have to hop in or we're gonna lose them. So if y'all just want to hop onto one of these, you ride together, you can ride separate. I don't give a shit. Just so long as you stay on it till we get to where we're getting.
Whichever one Revna's getting on to, that's the one Bucky's getting on to.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, Revna
Yes,
just numbly boards one at random.
We all follow suit, or Maggie, you coming with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So y'all hop into one of these hearses, and there's a pair of like stone sarcophagi laying next to each other, and they just have you all like sideways kind of laying in there too, like the kids piling up the back of a truck from ye olden times. And it's an 8-hour drive as they take you from one site to another. There are a few bathroom breaks that they do take. And other than that, besides the fact that you are riding with what look like stone containers full of dead peoples in a large, heavily armored funeral procession, there isn't too many events that happen. Is there anything in particular that anyone would like to do in that 8-hour time period, or would like to chat up someone either within the party or within the task force?
Is there like a map or anything? Or like, did we have access to like a geographical identifier? Because Bucky has no idea where he fucking is. So he'd at least like to be able to like look at a map of where they are and then pinpoint like, oh, okay, like these are all the places that are different from where I'm from.
Yeah, if you ask any of the mobile task force, they seem to be like, none of them are treating you like you are an anomaly or a D class. Either they are comfortable with it or they were not informed on it, that you like any of your previous history.
I'm
you
level
all
0.
Yeah, you are all level 0 personnel that they were told to escort, so they're pretty amicable. So if you ask them any questions, one of them would like easily pull out their cell phone and like show you like, all right, well, I mean, I got the GPS open so I can show you the route. So we're right here in anonymous site number 1.
Okay.
And all right, so we're gonna head up here. We're gonna take this highway here, and then this is Michigan. You see the mittens like shaped like winter apparel. That's Michigan.
Wait, so both of those are one state?
Sure have been. Yep.
Okay. Catching on. Like West Coast, like is it 2 states or is it like 4?
What?
Like on the other, so there's like, there's like it's called Cascadia, and it's a little bit of like the top area, and then it extends down and then touches like some of like the really long guy, Hollywood land. Like it touches that. Huh?
Hey, Bucky. Hey, Bucky. Yeah, Klifton's asking for you.
Oh, I'll be right back. Thank you so much.
Looks over at Maggie.
He's
Too many amnestics or something.
Yeah, he's still getting over like a really bad like flu he had, and he's still a little. Ooh, you know.
All right. All right.
It's like when he comes back asking, just say like you're busy or something, or like you know what, like just give me like the highlights between here and there, so when he asks, I could tell him.
Sure.
So it doesn't bother you.
He proceeds like pointing like, all right, well, there's Ohio, there's nothing happening there. There's
Naturally.
Indiana, blah blah blah. There's the Great Lakes, this and that. Here's Lansing. They explain to you that the facility you're going to is about two above ground, roughly 800 square kilometer or acre areas in the area of Lansing. They explain that the facility itself is like self-sufficient, and that any of the above ground facilities are plants essentially. Functioning McDonald's and gas stations, all run by SCP employees, so that the public can still pass through Lansing and use the airport. Then they'll be going into the basements of these places to run the facilities.
It's like, all right, awesome. Sorry again for
That's
him.
fine. We've seen worse.
All right. And then I'll go back to to the crew.
Yeah, and if I caught any of the talk between Bucky and the guy, I will lure him into a conversation about, because Klifton was born in San Francisco and he lived in LA along the West Coast, so he'll try to geographically discuss his dimension and Bucky's dimension, and he just very it goes into like counselor mode and kind of like draws Bucky into a long conversation of please don't piss off the guys with guns. He doesn't say that, but that's what he's doing. He's keeping Bucky from.
It's absolutely wild, Klifton. They say Michigan's like one state.
Yes, with two peninsulas.
Well, no, okay, so there's like, where I'm from anyways, there's the bottom, it's all just called Erie, right? Because it's named after like that one little like, the bigger lake that's like on the East Coast. And then there's Upper, and that's like the upper area, right?
I find that fascinating. Yes, okay.
So you're either like, it's either like Erie or Upper, but here apparently it's all one. They just call it Michigan. Like, what would you even call somebody who's from Michigan? Like a Michiganite? That doesn't make any sense. You probably have to call it like a Michigander or something, and that sounds ridiculous.
So in Bucky's world, Michigan has been split into two. Please tell me that there's only one Dakota.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and so, Klifton's world was closer to the one we're in, and so he'll kind of explain the Midwest as best as he knows from living in California. But yeah, it's all about keeping Bucky and, twisting the conversation to back into Buckiness and letting Bucky be Bucky.
I'll also hang out near Revna. Like, I won't initiate any conversation because I feel like you're brooding at the moment, but I will like sit nearby. It's just if you need someone, I'm nearby if you want to, I don't know, talk or something. If Revna wants to talk or something.
For sure, there is so much brooding. And her, like, the card that she crumpled into a fist, that fist hasn't opened since she did that. And she's just sort of staring down at it. And if she notices Maggie, she will sort of glance up at her and say, classify it as safe. It is containable and not dangerous.
Absolutely. I'll write it down.
And like she will discuss the SCP like purely from like the criteria that she was instructed to find and log.
And I'll just sit there nodding as if I'm gonna write it down and give it to somebody. And just be like, yeah, of course, absolutely.
Revna was given a job, she wants to do it.
So a few more hours pass for the welcome to Michigan highway signs are seen, and you enter the state. And a little bit longer, you arrive at the city of Lansing, and the funeral procession enters the airport and like wraps around the back of the building and drives into one of the airplane hangars, which as the doors to the hangar close, the entire concrete slab that the procession is parked on shifts for a second and lowers like a large stone elevator, revealing that there is an underground airplane hangar in here with a lot of like high-tech, expensive-looking vehicles. People running around. They are wearing the SCP Foundation uniforms and equipment. And Sergeant Poppy turns around and looks at the Foravians and, well, welcome to Site 11. Yeah, I guess this is where we park ways. You can go ahead and get the hell out of my car now.
Oh, yeah.
You're muted, GB.
Of course. Yeah. Why, thank you, Sergeant. Most appreciated the ride. It was very smooth.
All right,
Yep.
stay safe.
I love
Alright.
that I can tell that GB is speaking in character just from the way that he moves his head.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, as you get out of the vehicle, there is a person or two people. Too many tabs, can't see the letters. There it is. All right. There are two people that greet you. One is a kind of younger, middle-aged, kind of olive-skinned, feminine figure. And she identifies herself as Dr. Jordan Lee Graham, the site director. This is the head of security, Major Jason Iden, and this is like a 60-year-old. They've got the fucking USMC Marine pin still on their shit. They look like they are like someone that probably used to work in the Pentagon. The thin pursed lip of someone who's like constantly uncomfortably like strict. And he nods at y'all. Well, welcome to Site 11. Let me give you a tour. And as they sweep their hand and gesture towards the nearby elevator to begin your tour of your new, more permanent housing, that is where we will end this session.
Yeah! I'm excited! This game has been great, Media. Thank you so much for running this. I have a blast whenever you're on the channel. Where can we find you? What do you do?
Well, howdy, everybody. I'm Mediaflare. I'm a voice actor and a streamer.
You can find me on Twitter or Facebook or Twitch at Mediaflare. I am found currently on Thursdays and Sundays here playing tabletop with this lovely family. Otherwise, I currently have nothing going on my Twitch, and I just realized that my schedule is way too empty, so I'm going to have to do something about that. Look forward to a upcoming schedule change, probably by Monday, and I'll see you in more games hopefully soon. DanaeKeener.com.
All right, and PB.
Hi, I'm PB at PB Plays Inside. You can find me on all social media at that name. You can find me here on Thursdays playing this very fun game, and on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can find me over on twitch.tv/Praxagora Thermosophoria to playing some Mechton in a game that's getting very spicy, where my character is very upsetty spaghetti at one of my fellow pilots for being a little bit of a douche.
Just a little.
Just a little bit. But that's me.
All right, and if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey, Corns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday, Thursday, and Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/Indoor Adventures, or anywhere audiocasts are made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. If you want to hang out with the cast and crew, I say crew like I have multiple people working on the back end. Jokes, it's all just me. You can go to our Discord. The link can be found in the Twitch chat to the side, or in the video, or in the description of this video or audio cast down below. We have an after show called Nights in the Courtyard that we're going to be doing after this. Go join us on that Discord. Ask us those questions. Patreon.com/Indoor Adventures. DanaeKeener.com.
Leads to me, Greybeard or Greybeard's Tavern, and currently you can see me here on Thursdays at 8:30. Well, you were here, you know, and on Tuesday, every other Tuesday, over on Lantern Noir's channel, where we do a happy hour at the Old Timer Tavern. Look it up in everywhere you get your podcasts. But we do a Twitch show live, where we hang out and we talk about gaming and D&D and stuff, because we've been playing since the 70s. Anyway, the other thing that I do is my own Twitch channel, Sunday, 10-ish, because it's Sunday morning. We play, right now we're playing Wilder Myth, and I get to play with all my toys, and we, you know, have all kinds of silly fun playing with Wilder Myth characters. So give that a try. That's it for me, GB.
Hey everybody, I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. You can also find me at Danae Keener on Twitter. I've got a pinned tweet there. You can see my schedule and all of the things that I'm up to on the Twitches. So go and check that out, DanaeKeener.com.
All right, and that's a wrap for our game for the evening. But again, we are going to be heading over to patreon.com/Indoor Adventures. Go check out that after show, and we will see all of you guys next time. But before we do, thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to these players for putting up with our bullshit, and thank you to Mediaflare once again for running this fantastic game, because we couldn't have this without you, quite legitimately. None of us know Call of Cthulhu, and none of us knew anything about SCP, so thank you. And we will see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.